for Blossoms and Bundles, and today I'm going to show you how to make wonderful wintergreen bath bombs. The ingredients that you're going to need today is 1/4 of a cup of citric acid, 1/4 of a cup of baking soda, 3½ tablespoons of Epsom salts. That's 1/2 of a tablespoon shy of 1/4 of a cup, 1/4 of a teaspoon of mineral pigments. You can use some natural food coloring if you want to. And if you don't care about being natural and wanting to use petroleum, you could use regular food coloring, but why would you want petroleum in your bath? Like that's kind of disgusting, in my opinion. And you're gonna need, what is it? Oh yeah, 2 tablespoons of almond oil, and 5 drops of wintergreen, and 5 drops of vanilla essential oil. And then, well, actually this is olorosin. Vanilla essential oil doesn't actually really exist. And you're gonna need a spray bottle of water. All right, so let's get to it. All right, first we need to put in all of the dry ingredients. And I'm going to whisk these together, because there's going to be a lot of clumps and you don't want a bunch of clumps in there. So I'm going to try to get rid of as much of those as possible. You can put this through a little food processor or a blender to help it out too. It's mostly the clumps in the baking soda that give you all the problems. And then I started off with about an eighth of a teaspoon of each color. And that looks like I'm going to need a little bit more turquoise. So right now this has about 1/4 of a teaspoon of the turquoise and 1/8 of a teaspoon of the blue, more like a blue violet. And I think that's about as dark as I want to get it. Okay, so I'm not too concerned with all these little lumps. I think they'll be just fine. So now I'm going to do my 2 tablespoons of almond oil. I'm going to take this dropper out. Whoever thought that a dropper in almond oil was a good idea? What the heck? Anyways. I switched to a spoon because whisks get all clumpy and gross. You just want to mix that, incorporate that in really well. Kind of like making pie crust. Except I'm not using a cutter, I'm just using a spoon. Okay. Now I'm going to add in my essential oils. Ooh, that smells good. All right, and mix that all in. Next is the tricky part. We're going to put a little bit of water in here just until it comes together. But since it has citric acid in it, see it's staying together a little bit just from the oil. To make it a little easier to stick together, you can put some cornstarch in it instead of all the Epsom salt. But I'm not going to do that today because I want the Epsom salt. Makes it a little bit trickier, but it's kind of worth it sometimes, I think. Especially since, I mean, I would use arrowroot instead of cornstarch in my bath personally because I don't really like cornstarch in my bath or on my skin or on my head, you know. It's just, I don't think it's a good idea to have sugars like that, you know, a starch. where bacteria can eat it. So I like to stick to, you know, more like arrowroot starch. All right, so the reaction is caused by the baking soda and the citric acid mixing together with water to create, you know, the foam like a volcano. So we're going to use some water, and we're going to be very careful about it. That's why we have it in a spray bottle. Kind of like making pie crust again. Let's see. Okay. And then you mix it together really quickly, because it is going to do its thing just a little bit. Whatever you do, do not use glycerin instead of almond oil, because glycerin is water-based and it will cause the reaction to form right away instead of when you want it in the bathtub. You'll come back to find all of your bath bombs have exploded on you and they just slowly fizzled out of their form. Okay, I need to test this. All right, that's kind of holding together. Let's see. Let's try something else. And it's a bath bomb. Whoa. You can use, of course, a mold. But I don't know. I like these. But, like, you can use a mold for actual bath bombs, or you can use a mold for these. Anyways. Dang it. Okay, let's give up on that and just put it in our container, like how I like to make them. It is easier to do it with, I find, with the cornstarch mixtures, well, arrowroot starch like I use. I have a lot easier time forming them. I also like to make it with goat milk sometimes, and that it turns out really nice, I think. Okay, you guys want to see what happens? This is like magic or science. Same thing, right? Ooh. That looks like aquamarine. Now you can kind of see how the mineral pigments turn out, because they turn out really pretty, I think. Let's put some more water in there to help the reaction along. Oh. Ooh. Where's my whisk? There's my whisk. Let's whisk it. Woo! It's fancy! Okay. There you go. You can use, there are certain kinds of oils. Oh, I can't remember what they're called. I don't keep them on hand because I don't ever use them enough. And I don't really mind the oil being on top of my bath. But there are oils that you can use that help your other oils be mixed in with the water better. I'll put links in the description box below so you can see, check that out if you're really interested. Put this one in there. This is so much fun. If you don't want to worry about any of the oil, you could probably get away with not using the oil, but you probably couldn't form it very well, so you'd have to keep it in one of these things. And then just sprinkle it in your bath. I do like the citric acid and the baking soda because it mixes in all my stuff that I want to put in there, whether I have goat milk in it or, you know, some sort of like oatmeal flour or something. It helps, the reaction kind of helps mix things in my bath where I don't have to worry about it, which is nice. So that's really the main reason why I do this. I don't really make the bath bombs. I use the reaction to mix into my bath. So, and plus it is fun to have the colors though. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and found it valuable. Thanks for watching.